So, absolutely fantastic series. We're going to have the chat. I don't need to introduce her anymore because she's just amazing. New York Times bestseller. Will you please welcome Laini Taylor?
Hi guys, it is Saturday morning. It is like 9 o'clock and I need to get ready and go to the train to get in for Laini Taylor, which is at 11. So I'm tired. I stayed up a little bit later than I wanted to last night because I wanted to just post a vlog seeing as I had everything. It was about 15 minutes long, so I knew I had to do them separately. So I said I might as well just post the first one last night, which I did. So yeah, but now I need to get ready, get out of my pyjamas, brush my hair, and it's lashing rain. I don't know if you can see it, but yeah, it's a bit of a crappy day in my new car. It's Finnick, but yeah, so we'll see how it goes. Yeah, but I'm looking forward to today. Should be good. There's some nice cafes around the area if I don't want to go to any of the signings, so I might stop in there and get me a little bit of food at some point because I was starving yesterday by the time I got home because I hadn't eaten at all. So yeah, so hopefully I'll actually eat today and be able to make it all the way home without stopping to get like chips, which I did last night. So yeah, so I'll check in later. Hi guys, I managed to make it. I thought I was going to be late, but I made it, and Katie and Kelly are here. So Laini Taylor's on in like 5 minutes, or now, I don't know. But yeah, so I'm really looking forward to it, even though I haven't read her book. But I plan to, I plan to read some of the books.
Or it was before I had ever finished a novel. My husband and I had, my very first book was a graphic novel that I did with my husband, and he illustrated. It's called The Drowned, and it's about a city of drowned witches. And after that, we had gone to San Diego Comic-Con, and we were driving back up to Oregon and talking about our next book, and we had this idea we wanted to do a vampire story. And this was like in 2004 or something, before vampires even exploded, before Twilight. It still seemed like a good idea. And we wanted to set it somewhere cool and go there and research it. And so we had decided to go to Prague, and so we did, and we were such kooks. We like walked around Prague like deciding where the vampires lived and hunted, and it was super fun, and we never did that book. So then years later, when I was trying to figure out where Carew and Brimstone, or where Carew might live, it was just all sort of waiting to be used. It was this perfect, like weird, dark fairy tale setting that happens to be a real place.
The villains must be great character, right?
Yeah, villains are fun, but it's funny, I actually, I hit a sort of point of villain fatigue a little bit with reading partly. I had read a string of books as I was starting to write my book that I just finished, where the villains, I felt like each one got progressively like sort of more sinister, or I felt like these authors were like reaching to create something so evil or to surpass like the benchmark of what the current evil villain, and I was just getting so sort of weary of this, like, how bad can we make this bad guy? And so I didn't really want to have a villain in my next book, and so Strange the Dreamer is a little bit different that way.
As an agent, if you were trying to pitch your new book to the audience, because I read up on it and I was like, oh, you're going to have to explain that to me because this sounds amazing, but I don't really know what's happening here.
And the main character, I can't really tell you too much about her because it's, again, like Daughter of Smoke and Bone. It's kind of like spoilers if I describe, but she has an ability that, oh gosh, see, I haven't talked about this book yet. I'm in the mode of transitioning from all of my words coming out of my fingers to having to like reroute them through my mouth. The thing that happened is once I started writing it, I knew that there was going to be this male character as well. That he would be kind of in the way that Akiva is almost a sort of co-equal character, but not. Like, I still thought she was really the main character. But as I was writing, I wanted to see her first through his eyes, through the eyes of a stranger. And the city is a character too. The city of Weep, it's called, and it's a city that has lost its true name for unknown reasons. And I wanted everything to be sort of revealed through the eyes of a stranger coming there for the first time. And so I was like, okay, who is this guy? Who is this stranger? And the more I wrote him, and this what was supposed to just be the entrance into the world of the main character, the more he sort of started stealing the book. And his name's Laszlo Strange. And there was one chapter early on as I was sort of figuring out who he was. And unlike Carew, it didn't just happen. Like, it really was effortful. But every sort of chapter or draft I would write at the beginning, I learned a little more about him, and it finally evolved, and that he's a sort of young orphan librarian at the greatest library in the world, and he's I didn't really realize it until after I finished the book that it's sort of like a love letter to nerds and fantasy readers, because he's the one librarian sort of in this whole, it's like the most scholarly institution, you know, in the world, and he's the one that loves fairy tales. In fact, the moment that I really fell in love with him, and lore and myths, the moment I fell in love with him and sort of knew that he was actually the main character was when it just happened in, you know, one sentence that he had had his nose broken as a child by a falling volume of fairy tales. And I thought, oh my God, this is my main character. He's like literally was shaped by stories.
Please welcome Lisa Williamson and Susan Nielsen. There's only two. And surprise, no, Derek Landy is not coming back. He's been banned for life. Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Well, I mean, it's been really exciting. For me to come over here was really exciting. So I did a week in England, and then truly the highlight was ending my trip in Dublin. And I think for me it really struck home when I walked into, just on a whim, I saw Dubray bookstore, and I went up to the second floor, and there was Word Nerd, and we were all made of molecules, like on a feature table. And I was like, I actually said to the young staff woman, those are my books in a Dublin bookshop. And then I made her take a photo of me with the books.
From my own childhood and teenage years, quite a lot. I kept diaries, and like quite embarrassing diaries, and I remember a lot. I don't know it, and I don't feel that I'm that different. I've just, I don't know, got, a bit more money now and slightly better hair, I hope. But pretty much, I'm like still teenage Lisa, really. So I think I draw from my own experiences a lot, and I don't think that much changes. Obviously, teenagers now have internet and mobile phones and stuff that I didn't have in the 90s, but still pretty much I think our reactions and experiences are broadly the same. I did, when I was writing The Art of Being Normal, I did borrow my friend, her teenage daughters and all their mates, and just spent the day hanging out with them and just asking them loads of stuff. But I just felt like sort of granny, because I was saying, what's Snapchat? What's that? How does that work? And just things like that.
I think I think what I have very vivid emotional memories of being that age and throughout high school, and I do think, like you say, a lot of that stuff doesn't really change. And so, and actually also, we both do first-person narrative, and all my books have been first-person narrative so far. And so I think, I don't know about you, but I find that's a real way to really sink into the character's head. So, I mean, you're seeing the world through their eye.
Welcome, the author of Vendetta and Inferno and soon to be published Mafiosa, Catherine Doyle. Can you hear me? Laure Eve. List you all lovely Weatherly's books, because I don't think she'd actually make it to the stage. But let me mention the Angel Trilogy, and most recently Broken Sky and Darkness Follows of the Broken Trilogy, as well as 50 other published books for all ages. So if you would please welcome to the stage Titania Woods, Kitty Wells, Zuzu Singer, also known as L.A. Weatherly. You are all very welcome to Deptcon 2.
I was on kind of a strange course, because I'd finished my undergrad in psychology, and I had spent a whole summer writing research papers on non-specific benign chronic lower back pain, which is actually more boring than it sounds. And then in September I went straight into a master's in health psychology, and I just had a huge breakdown. It was like this moment when I realised my life was going in the wrong direction, and I was so deeply unhappy. And I came home, and I remember I cried to my mom, and she did what is possibly the most Irish Catholic thing ever. She got like the local priest to come and talk to me. He was like, what do you want to do with your life? What is it that makes you tick?
Careers advice from a priest.
I was like, Mom, stop sending it to our house. And as I was studying the ways these authors kind of got to do this amazing thing every single day of their lives, and how they became successful, and all these kind of spin-off books that happened because of these, three powerhouse trilogies, or saga in the case of Harry Potter and Twilight. I thought, I really want to do this. I really, really, really want to do this. And I just kept having flashbacks of that priest in my face being like, what are you going to do with your life? You only get one life. So I was like, okay, I'll write something.
Hi guys, I am home from Deptcon. I didn't stay for the whole later part of the evening. I went home after like Laure, Eve and the woman who wrote Vendetta, which I can't remember her name right now, and those authors, as I just didn't really want another late night and I wasn't that pushed in seeing the rest of the authors as I didn't own any of their books or anything and I didn't need anything signed, so I decided to head home and have a bit of an early-ish evening. So I got some more stuff which I will show you. If you can see all my dogs behind me. They're my company this evening. So I got some more books signed and I got some more chapter samplers. I'm in the kitchen right now because I'm making my dinner, so please excuse the very messy counter. So we have The Memory of Flora Banks, which seems to be something about someone who has no short-term memory after the age of 10, so it's something like that. I'm about to get wet or something on all of these. There's The Jungle by Pooja Puri. This seems to be about the migrant camps, or the Calais migrant camps, which sounds really, really good, so I'm going to definitely be reading this. This one is The Massacre of Mankind, which is some kind of, it's a sequel to War of the Worlds. So as you can see, it says authorised by the H.G. Wells estate. So for any sci-fi fans or fans of War of the Worlds, that's probably definitely one to look out for. I haven't actually read it myself. And then this one is All About Mia by Lisa Williamson, who wrote The Art of Being Normal. So this is her new book. I read a little bit of this while I was waiting for one panel, so it seems pretty good so far. I have a Throne of Glass bookmark and another bookmark, which I don't know actually the books on this one, but and then there is Street Song as well, which is another Sheena Wilkinson. Actually, I like Sheena Wilkinson. I didn't notice this was by Sheena Wilkinson, but I have read some of her other books and I really enjoyed them, so I'll definitely be reading that. And then I got some of my books signed. The Graces by Laure Eve, and then my Laini Taylor Daughter of Smoke and Bone, I got that signed as well. And then I also picked up the new Iron Man book for my friends, which is so cool. I think this is just such a cool cover. And basically the gist of this is that Iron Man goes to Ireland for some sort of international eco summit, and he detects something weird off the coast of Ireland and he has to investigate. So what are you doing? What are you doing? Mr. Jeremy, you messing? Hey Luna. Luna. You're not talking to me, Luna. What's wrong? So I guess this is where I will end the vlog. It's been a really good few days and I hope you guys enjoyed the footage that I was able to capture. And yeah, so I am happy with that. I'm happy with my haul. So thanks for watching, guys. See you again. Bye.